No fun. That'll be up front. Okay, so 26. Another thing, you could say that's dividing by 4 as you move to the right. Yes? What is it multiplying by? Go to the right. Well, if it was -4, then you'd get a negative number. So I don't know that that works. Yes?
Times it by 4.
Well, if you times 256 by 4, then you get a bigger number.
Oh, the other one.
So we have to multiply it by something smaller than 1.
Times by
But
negative 4?
not negative, because if it's -4, I mean, this times -4 is a negative number. It's going to be either a decimal or a fraction. Who said that?
Not me.
No, it doesn't work for
That'd be funny.
It's a fourth,
Oh.
because you're taking a fourth of the previous amount. So dividing by 4 and multiplying by 1/4 is the same thing. Let's go way down here. 16. If I multiply it by 1/4, recall? That looks like that. That is read 16 divided by 4. So the 4 and the 1/4 are, what is that called? When you flip a number upside down. Yeah, that's a reciprocal. Because if I take 4 over 1 and flip it upside down, I get 1/4. That's a reciprocal. So multiplication and division, we can use reciprocals to get the work done. So the pattern in part A represents descending powers, going down, powers of which positive integer? So in other words, what is the base that you could use for this? So this is a hard part. 4? So you could use a base of 4 for each of these and then have some power?
Yes.
Some exponent? So what would be the power of 4 that this is?
1.
And that?
2.
Oh,
3. 4.
yeah. Multiply by 4 to get across, divide by 4 to go back. Okay, cool. Anything else? Yes.
You guys already went over 10K, right?
Yeah, we did.
Oh.
Just this 10,000, I think is the answer for that one.
Wait, how do you, like, get a number without the power?
How do you get
Oh, wait.
this one?
Oh.
10 times 10, 4 times. Yeah? Are you okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 5. Other power to 10. We'll go quick like a bunny here if we can. This is like really in the way now. I put it like in totally the wrong spot.
Right on that.
But what if it's like this? What does that do for you? Is that bad for you now? Someday I'll have enough time to hang it on the ceiling. Let's try that. And see what happens. So help me out. You take a fraction 1/10 and then you multiply it by the decimal number, 6.3485. Can anybody tell me the quick and easy way to get this done.
1, 2. Yeah, turn the thing, the decimal to a fraction.
Clover, move the decimal over. Move the decimal point.
Yes.
So use the same digits. And then will my new number be larger or smaller? Smaller. So the decimal point should go left or right? Left. That makes it smaller. So that's equal to 0.63485. You see 1/10 is the same as 0.1. So then we have to move our decimal point to the left one place. What if you were multiplying by another number, like this, 1/100? And let's say we were multiplying the number, like 435 by 1/100th. Now how many places would you move your decimal point? 2 places. Because this here is the same as 0.01. So we're going to end up going 2 places. It starts here after the 5. You get 0.385. So 1/100th, 1 out of every 100. And there's 400, so it's only going to be 4 of them. And then 0.35.
Very in the box.
Write it down, stick with it, and we'll come back again. So, I gave you a bunch of powers of 10 yesterday, right? Did I do that? Where did I go, from 10 to the first?
It went 10 from the 0 with
All the way to what? 10 to the 9th?
the billion.
Okay, so let's stay with 10 to the 6th. And let's start counting down. 10 to the 6th, 5, 4, 3. And then we're going to go negative. We did this last year, right? Okay, I'm going to carry it all the way to, from +6 to -6 for the exponents. So you could fill in what they are, most of them, right?
Yes.
So if we, let me just see what I want to do with this. Yeah. So 10 to the first is how many? 10. 10 squared? 100. Good. There you go. Correct yourself. 10 to the third? Yeah. So can you take them all the way up? What's 10 to the sixth? That's 1,000,000, yeah. So fill those in. And if you can fill them in so that you have all of the ones lined up in a column vertically, that could be handy.
For the negatives, so 10 to the -1 power, it would be 0.10.
You ready for that?
No.
Some of us are. Some of us are. Are you? How far are you? You're there? Yeah, I don't want to get too far ahead.
Wait, but what if it's 0.10?
So let's see here. Looks like as we go down, we're moving the decimal point one place to the left. just like what we did with this, when we divided by 10, or multiplied by 1/10. So if we keep coming down, what's 10 divided by 10? It's 1. Now 1 divided by 10 is yeah, it's 1/10 or 0.1. So we have 0.1, and then we divide by 10 again, and we have
0.01.
0.01. And then it keeps going. Our place value keeps, our 1 gets moved over one place value every time we divide by 10. This is why the metric system is so nice. When you multiply and you divide by 10, all you're doing is moving the decimal point back and forth. So can you carry this all the way out to the bottom? Well, I went fast. So just put in a couple of these. How do you read that? 1 million. So let's go all the way down here to 10 to the negative 6th. What place value is the 1 in? Million. So this is 1. Put a TH on it, right? So let's do 1,000. We don't have to fill them all in. So where's the 1,000? 10 to what power? So if million is 6, millionth is negative 6. 1,000 is 3, 1,000th is negative 3. Yeah, there's symmetry here. And all of that symmetry is around the number 1, which is 10 to the 0th power. So if this is the 10,000, then negative 4th is going to be, I'm sorry, this is 10,000. The negative 4th is going to be the 10,000th power. Can you write all of those in fraction form? How about a couple of them? Let's just do a million. How do you write 1 million as a fraction?
1 out of 1 million.
Over 1, yeah. And then 1,000 as a fraction. And then let's do 1,000th and a millionth as a fraction. So that patterning is kind of nice. It helps us when we want to multiply, divide by 10, or 10 squared, or 10 cubed. Is this all X'd out? No. There's lots of them, or all of them? You want a new book? Yeah. That's pretty trashy, isn't it? Let's get you a new one on the way out of here. I'll give you this one. And I want to check it out too, so I'll flip them when we go. Okay? Don't let me forget. All right. Yeah, and there's another thing. If any of you have a book that's trashed on the inside and you want a different one, let me know. Because I buy these things on Amazon. They're 90 bucks a piece if I buy new ones. 90? Plus shipping. Yeah, they're 90. Plus shipping. And if I buy them on Amazon, I get them anywhere from, like $2 to $10 a piece. Usually $2 or $3 a piece.
Why are they so expensive?
Books are expensive. They just plain old are. Textbooks are some of the most expensive books. Yeah. Hey, that, a lot of college textbooks are $200, $300, $400 a piece, so. Yeah, there's a revelation for you. Okay, now, let's do something with this right here. This 1/10, we saw what that was equal to. And I want you to look at something. If I take 1/10 from here, which of the exponents is it? If I look for 1/10, which of these exponents would I use to equal 1/10? Did you have it? You have it. Which is it? 10 to the negative 1. This right here is the same as 1/10. So if I substitute that means the same thing. And both of these are going to come out from what you guys had written down. So if you can squeeze in the fact that this and this are the same, so if you were to see this multiplication here, to get to that answer, what did we do with the decimal point? Move it to the left or to the right? So this here, when we did this work, when you multiply by 1/10, you move the decimal point to the left. How many places? 1. So that negative 1 means that you, when multiplying, move the decimal point to the left 1 place. All of these, when you multiply by these numbers, you're making your values smaller, so you're moving the decimal to the left. Here we move the decimal to the right that many places. So if I took this value here, that is 10 to the negative second, that's the same. And we multiplied it by 435, then we move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So it looks a lot like scientific notation, doesn't it? Here's your homework. Page 32. Ooh, you're never going to see that, are you? Can you see the 14? But Lucia's not going to see the 14.
Yeah. Are his favorite student. Yeah. I didn't want him not working anymore, so I. Good. Yeah. I heard you.
Can you see that? You can't see that.
It's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 questions. 15. 1 through 8, that's 8. 15. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, all of them. So you didn't ask for help, right? You did that by job. Do you need help?
I don't
Where?
Like this.
Number one.
Oh, that's.
What US coin has each stated value? 10 to the negative second of a dollar. So what does 10 to the negative second stand for? 10. So what's a tenth of a dollar? What coin?
Dime.
Dime.
Ah, I see, so I say dime.
You say dime.
I think you make a negative go.
Where?
I don't think you can do it.
No, I don't think
You
so.
can buy something, that's a
We
negative.
usually don't show negatives.
Oh, I see.
Change the direction.
I wrote a dime for a time. I was like, wait a second, that's actually right.
So 1/10 of a dollar. That would be.
You mean like, what, look up that? Wait, so we call both the A and B over?
What is the general rule for multiplying? So if you're multiplying by that number, what do we do to the number you multiply that by? It's like what we did with those two on the left up there. So when we multiply by this, the rule would be to move the decimal point to the left.
Yeah, but.
Anything. So if you multiply that by any number at all, what's the rule that you follow? Then move the decimal how many places?
100.
Yeah.
So if you have a number that this is being multiplied by,
Decimal places are to your right right now. There's three of them, right? So if you multiply it, a number to the decimal, you're going to the smaller. And now you have to move it three more to the left. Three places smaller. Number two? Okay, so then, right now, it's a decimal, 0.001. How many places are to the right of the decimal? There's three of them right now, right? Now, if you multiply that to any number, if you multiply a decimal to a number, is it gonna get bigger or smaller? Smaller. So how do you make that smaller? Which direction are you gonna move the decimal? To the left. The left gets smaller, right? How many places? Three more places, because we got 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1B. Oh, what's 1/10 of a dollar? Divide a dollar by, huh? Divide, how many cents in a dollar? 100 cents, right? So if you divide it by 10,
My mental playground.
100 by 10, you get 10, right? And so what does 10 represent in a dollar? A dime.
Foreground.
Yeah. This one,
If there's like Nancy.
A, you get a penny? Because look at your notes. Where's your notes?
I forgot it.
Okay, so here's your notes. 10 to the negative 2 is written 0.01, and that's 1 penny. Right? 100?
Okay, so number 4, answer.
Same? No, because it's not a decimal, it's a fraction.
Right, it says rewrite each number as a decimal.
point zero,
And decimal.
point 001 is negative 30. Point 001.
Is point million.
So that's
Point 1 million.
what is 100?
No, it says general rule.
Exactly. Wait. Oh, you move by. Oh, so move it to the left.
How many places?
Ah.
That's what
Mr. Dayton, do we have to do quintillion? It says write quintillion as a decimal notation. Or as a power of 10.
What's the highest number?
So that would be.
Which question are you on?
What's back in the reading? Trillion is 12. What's back in the reading?
Right.
Change your around
And you move. Anytime multiply to a,
Okay, for question number 1. 10 to the negative second, right? What fraction is that? What fraction is 10 to the negative second?
Yeah.
Say that again?
What fraction is 10 to the negative second? 1/100. So you need 100th of a dollar for number 1A. Question number 1A.
So you give us the wrong answer?
Give yourself the wrong answer. 10 to the negative second is not a 10. That's a 100.
So it's a penny.
So that's the first.
I know. Same as
Say the standard notation of this.
I do get 3. You move the decimal, you make it small.
Regular numbers written out. Those are
Move to the
decimals.
left. I'm smart.
How many place
The
values?
next thing.
How many spaces do you move to?
That's a decimal
One.
number.
5?
Yeah.
So decimals change.
Yeah, that's a decimal number.
I forgot what decimal notation was.
It's just a number.
That's decimal.
Like that?
Yeah.
So you need to rewrite it. You need to give the answer in decimal notation. So 1/10 times 372 is going to be equal to how much? And write it as a decimal number, not as a fraction. So when we multiply by 1/10,
I don't really know.
which direction do we move the decimal point?
Wait, is this right power of 10?
On the opposite. Okay, so then your answer would be 1/10 times 372 equals.
Go ahead, do that. It sounds smart.
Yeah, it's gonna be different how they ask, but you'll get the hang of it after a few weeks. It'll start making more sense.
Wait, would it be 10 to the negative, or 10 to the 18th power? A quintillion? There's 18 zeros.
Is it 18?
Yeah.
I'm using my phone.
Yeah.
So it would be 10 to the
18 power. Trillion is 12, quadrillion is 15, quintillion is 8. Yeah.
And then 6
This is gonna get a little larger.
Yes.
This is a larger. Well, you do understand all of this.
It's 1 to the 8, 10, 12, 14.
How do you like say that would be 1/10?
Well,
The number 5.
the goal with this lesson is that you can do the multiplication using
137,000
this
times
So
0.00001.
this is
1, 2,
1/10,
3,
right?
4, 5.
So when you multiply a number by 1/10,
5.
what's the shortcut for moving the
So
decimal
then
point?
you're gonna multiply it by that. So this number gonna get smaller or bigger?
Yeah, just one. So in that question number
Smaller,
4,
because you're multiplying it by a
you're not gonna even write it
decimal.
like this.
Smaller. How
You're
many
just,
places is
you're
it
not
gonna
gonna
get
leave it
smaller?
like that.
1, 2, 3, 4,
You're
5,
gonna-
yeah.
you're gonna write it
So you're gonna
exactly
move
as
the
it is and
decimal
give it
5 times and make that number smaller.
Okay?
It's just 300.
No, you have to write it in power.
That's exactly what we're looking for.
Yep.
Right, 18.
Looking at number 4 is exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, 37.
Okay, so then put number 4.
Is it gonna get bigger or smaller?
Just under multiply, probably when you move the decimal point.
But then, on this one,
A hundred is which, that's called it. I'm sorry,
no, after.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, you're being good little soldiers.
Okay, there we go. And now moving on to.
You can come up here, you just go up here and look up here. Here's the big one. So you can just open there. Oops, we gotta turn you off. Hi.